a complete church check-in system available on our dedicated iPad check-in app and a computer. In this video, Lori and I will show you how to use check-in with your computer or laptop. Lori, thank you very much for helping me today.
Sure, Matt.
Now, how do we access the check-in kiosk?
Well, Matt, the first thing you do is log into your system, and then you go to Events and Attendance. You're going to go to the Attendance and Check-in tab at the top. Here you're going to see there are a list of events that have already been created, or you're going to click the Add button and add your event.
Perfect. So I'll select today's children's ministry event. Now what?
Well, from this point, you go down and you click the little check-in mode button at the bottom, and that brings you to your check-in kiosk.
Ta-da!
Ta-da!
We're in the kiosk. All right,
That's
now
it.
that we've got ourselves into the check-in kiosk, how do I check someone in?
Well, ideally they have a phone number, so you're going to use the last 4 digits of their phone number. Or you're going to search by name. You can use the first name of the child, the last name of the parents, whatever you want.
Okay, and now that we're here and we found the family, actually one thing we need to mention is if you type in the last name of someone's family and there's multiple people with the same last name, you'll see a list of those families and you'll choose which family you're checking in, and then it'll bring you to the list of the people in that family.
Correct.
Okay, but now that we're here, what do I do next?
So there's a couple of things you can do in this screen. First of all, Nick and Nora are already checked in, but we're going to edit some of their information here. So you're going to click on the arrow on the right-hand side of the screen.
Okay.
This is going to allow you to see the lovely child, the family security code, their information. This is important. We need to know about allergies, the special notes that are included with that information, and the emergency contact number. Okay. This is really important.
Perfect. So that's how we can edit that and make sure, because that prints on the label itself.
Except for the emergency contact number.
Yes. And then once we have all that customized, we select the names of the people we're checking in and then choose print labels, and it sends it to the printer.
Absolutely.
Nice and easy. Now, what if a parent loses a label, or maybe a kid accidentally rips theirs? Can we reprint
or unsticks them?
Or unsticks them, yeah. Or you know what I've seen happen is a kid will rip off another kid's label. Yeah. So can we reprint a label?
Yes, Matt, you can. So if you go back to your main check-in screen and go to check-in.
Yeah, in the top left corner.
In the top left corner, sorry. And under check-in overview, this is going to present a list of all the children who you have checked in.
Okay.
So if you click the little arrow on the right, this is going to allow you to preview the information that's been entered, but there's a little tiny printer button up there on the right that's going to allow you to reprint those labels.
Oh, nice and easy. And now that we're in here, let's talk about how to send a message in case the kid is having a meltdown. We can message the parent about the child from within the system, but how do we do that?
So Matt, you're going to go to the same spot. You're obviously typically not going to be here at this point, but you'll go to check-in, you'll check in overview, and that's going to present you the list of children. Select the child, scroll to the bottom of this. You're going to see the emergency contact number, the name, ideally, of the person who is assigned to that number. And we provide you a list of templates that you can utilize, or you can create a custom one.
Yeah,
and then you just send your message.
Nice. So you can very quickly get a hold of the right person.
Now just hope their phones aren't on silent so they get the message.
We sure hope so. Now, can we check them out after they've been checked in? Like let's pretend like the children's ministry is over
and they need to come get their children.
Coming, so can we check them out?
Sure, Matt. So get out of the screen for me.
Yep.
Well, in the screen, obviously, if you're here, you can check out the child that's having the meltdown. But typically, you would go to the check-in, you would go to check-in settings, and then you would choose the checkout mode.
There we go. Okay.
This allows you to then go in, put the security label from the parents in, the phone number, or the last name or first name, and search the child out.
So let's look up the Klein family again.
Okay.
There's Nick and Nora again, but now instead of having a print labels button to the right,
have a perform checkout.
Yep, there's a perform checkout button.
And you can do this for the entire family, or if you're taking a sick child home and dad's going to get the rest of the kids later, you can just uncheck the child or check out the child you're taking home. I'll get it out in a minute.
Yeah.
That assigns that timestamp to that child so nobody ever goes missing.
Perfect. Okay. Now, what if I need a report of everyone that I've checked in?
This is commonly asked for, Matt, through support. So we have created a report for you. So you're going to go to the checkout in the upper left-hand corner. You're going to go to check-in overview. Scroll all the way down to the bottom with your mouse, and there's a printer button. This is going to print the list of the names that are checked in, or you have the list of all names.
Perfect. So this just helps everyone understand who is where and who's responsible for who in your church.
And one of the reasons that this was asked for was for the event of emergency.
Yeah.
So that you can keep track of all the children you're in charge of.
Now, do volunteers and staff have to be the ones manning this check-in station, or can parents use this to check their kids in?
Matt, in a perfect situation, you're always going to have someone there to greet the families that are coming in with the kids.
Right.
But no, you do not have to have a manned station. You can have several unmanned stations, as a matter of fact, and I still recommend one manned station.
Of course.
Okay. So if you go up into the, back to your check-in, you have to be in staff check-in to set this up. So then you're going to go to check-in settings, choose the self check-in down there just in a hot minute.
There we go.
This is going to change the parameters that you're going to be using in the kiosk mode.
Yes.
But, and notice here, now you have a message to greet your families. When you continue to check in, it's going to give you the ability to do the same search by phone and name.
Yes.
But the limitation is you don't leave this kiosk.
Yeah, you don't leave the kiosk. If I go to that check-in button in the top left-hand corner, it gives me access to the check-in settings, but you'll have to
put in a private PIN.
Put in a private PIN to access that. And also, we'll talk about this in a second, but the ability to add a family is also removed.
Also removed, yes,
yeah,
sir.
So they can't put themselves into the database. So let's talk about that. Like, what if a guest shows up? How do we check in guests at this church?
Okay, so you have to go back to check-in settings.
Yep.
Use your PIN. And this would not be pre-filled normally. This is just for the purpose of this video.
Right.
You're going to go back to staff check-in, okay? And then you're going to just close the option. We're not there yet. Okay? Now up in the upper right-hand corner, you see the option to add a family.
Yes.
This is the same screen that you're going to see typically in your people screen. But when you're adding a family here, you want to make sure that you start with the parents.
Yes.
And add dad and mom and then the children. And this creates the family information as you scroll down the screen. It auto-fills it for you.
Yeah.
Okay?
And here you can also assign a group label to each person. That way you can then check them in.
And that's attendance taking simplified, really and
Yes.
truly.
Really, it streamlines the whole process.
Absolutely.
Because this adds them into the database on the people screen, applies a group label, and then allows you to go through the same exact process as before checking them in.
Right.
So you can still get that attendance data and record their information.
Exactly.
All at once.
Very
Nice.
simple. And they have somebody there to talk to while this is occurring.
Now, you mentioned to me recently that you can customize how many labels are printed when you do the check-in. So where do you go to do that?
So go back to check-in for me and go to check-in settings. In check-in settings, you'll notice across the top, there are 3 options here. The printing is the one that you're going to use. Scroll all the way down, and there's a blue button down there that says Configure Group Label Printing. This gives you a screen where you can decide what kind of tag you want, whether it's a name tag or a check-in tag, the quantity of tags you want, or if you want to tag it all.
Yep.
So you don't have to have a tag if you don't want to. But my favorite part about this, Matt, is the fact that you can say, I want 3 labels for nursery, and that's because I want one for the cup/bottle, I want one for the kid, and I want one for the diaper bag.
Yep.
That helps all of your staff know who belongs to what and what belongs to who.
So that nothing gets lost or sent home with the wrong person.
I can tell you just from my daughter's experience, it can be a mess when you have littles.
Yes, it just makes it easy to keep track of everything.
Absolutely.
All right, that's using check-in on a computer. If you need help, send us a support ticket or visit churchtrac.com/support.